The LMC casts a wide net over the Sound Shore to bring you local event info, profiles, and conversations. Recorded in the heart of the village in Mamaroneck Cinemas at the studio on the Avenue, LMC Media brings you the LMC Cast Community Profiles.
Hi, my name is Mike Reynolds. I'm a longtime Mamaroneck resident. Today we're going to talk to two folks who are spreading good vibes and goodwill to those with physical and mental challenges across Westchester County and nearby areas. RSC Westchester helps kids and adults with disabilities through various sports, recreation, and arts programs. Rooted at the House of Sports in Ardsley, RSC Westchester also visits nursing and retirement homes. Now please say hello to RSC executives who will tell us more about their nonprofit organization, including a Big Bash, the upcoming holiday DD Sneaker Ball to cap off 2024. Graham?
Hi, I'm Graham Smith. I'm the founder and president of RSC Westchester.
And Latina, you've been with them since 2022, is that right?
Yes, my name is Latina Ferrer. I'm the executive vice president of RSC Westchester. And I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for being here. Graham, can you talk a little bit about the organization and the staffing and how you guys all kind of came to be?
Sure. We started in 2011. It was originally a youth soccer club that merged with another club. So I got left with a dormant organization.
Okay.
And one day a group came into Sports Center where I was and wanted to practice on the fields. It was a group of special needs individuals. I worked with them over the next 8-10 weeks. We developed the ball sports program just from scratch.
Okay. Latina, you guys, how many people do you have on staff? And again, it's not only sports, but as I mentioned, it's recreation, it's art, it's dancing. How many folks are working with you? And Graham, I think you told me you have 700 or 800 participants. I mean, it's pretty impressive, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't have any employees. Everyone's an independent contractor.
Okay.
There are 3 major instructors, the 2 of us, and a young woman called Solaris Ledesma, who does all the dance programs. And we have quite a number of short-term contractors who come in to do specific programs. We also work with interns. We're trying to formalize agreements with local colleges for the spring.
Okay.
And volunteers whenever we can. We don't get a lot of volunteers because most of our programs are between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m.
I see.
Not a heavy volunteer time frame.
Latina, where are you going to get these folks? Where your recruiting efforts, so to speak?
Well, for us, we put ads on Indeed, and for me, we go to local colleges. I go to my alma mater, Lehman College, and we look for people that are are going to get the same degree, are looking to be in the recreational field, and that way it's a win-win for both of us because they get some experience in working with a certain population and also working with principals and the backgrounds in therapeutic recreation. Because I am a CTRS, which is a certified therapeutic recreational specialist. And that's basically how we provide our programming, and we have a chance to streamline it for groups when it comes to this population.
The way that we organize that is Latina is responsible for all the programming that we do. As a certified recreational specialist, she oversees and makes sure that all our programming are run according to the practices.
Yep.
Yes.
Now, Graham, you're a sports guy. You mentioned soccer. Tell me a little bit about your background. And again, the program started off in the athletic side.
Yes, very definitely. My background, I am an ex-rugby international player. I've run marathons. I was a master's track and field runner in my 50s.
Wow.
I could go on.
All right.
So I have a serious background in all sports. It's
Okay. Latina, the key, I guess, is the key to all programs at RSC, whether sports, rec, arts, recreational therapy, or therapeutic recreation. Can you give us a sense for what that means?
Okay. Well, therapeutic recreation, we have the opportunity to work with these individuals and we meet them where they at. We use the normalization principle, and what we do is we use recreation as a guise to reach a common goal. So we have objectives, we have goals, and what happens is we use. It's not really about the art project that per se what we're doing. Say if we are doing a puzzle, it's not really about the puzzle. It's really about the attention to detail, the hand and the eye coordination, and those are the goals and the principles that come behind it, and it allows us to them to have a good time and have a good experience, but behind the scenes, I know exactly what I'm working on for them and how it will affect them later on in their lives. Attention to detail, color recognition. So although I'm not using therapeutic recreation and I'm writing notes or doing what you call the normal intake process that you would do as a therapist, because I'm doing it and streamlining it in the group process. So for us, what happens is we get the opportunity to give them the same type of opportunity and the same type of experience, but in a fun way. But we also have goals and opportunities for them to grow and learn in the process.
Now, Graham, you have kids and adults. I mean, what kind of the breakdown, if you will, of the younger versus the older sex?
The vast majority of our work currently is with adults.
Okay.
We work from between 10 and 2. These are day agencies, mainly that we work with, who will bring 10, 12, 15, up to 30.
And these guys are coming to House of Sports?
They come to House of Sports. We run a 55-minute program.
Okay.
They're all that time frame. We both came across this from totally different angles. When I first started, I knew nothing about working with the special needs community, so it was all trial and error putting together the Bull Sports program. When we came together, it was just, we met right in the middle. So we have a person with all the knowledge and the person who got there by trial and error.
So where did you guys meet? Soccer field?
Well, actually, I used to be the director of day services for Special Citizens Futures Unlimited. And at that time, this guy walked into my office one day and he said, I have a adaptive ball sports program for people with special needs. My background, I'm a CTRS, so I have a Bachelor of Science in Therapeutic Recreation. At the time, I wasn't using that. I had been the recreational coordinator, but there at a time, but I was just pushing papers. And my background said, oh my goodness. So I went and I spoke to the CEO at the time, and we had that contract. And that contract is still running today.
Oh, good. Okay.
So I always say it was just God, because, it was like full circle. We were working with each other at a different level then.
Right.
And I started my business when I was in Florida, and we just so happened to run back into each other, and it was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Let's kind of do what we
together.
Said, because it was a no-brainer, because it was something that we both loved, and we both have the mission of just wanting them to have the experiences that a lot of people take for granted. This population is underrated. That's what I say. A lot of people, they look at them and they can be dismissive, and they may not understand that their quality of life doesn't necessarily have to match your quality of life, but it's their quality, not yours, And we have to take into account that these are people, and we need to meet them where they are at. And for me, my music program, our art programs, our adaptive sports programs allows us to give them those type of experiences. And it also, I don't know if Graham said to you, but our motto is support,
respect, sport, and challenge.
There you go. And you want to elaborate on that?
Sure. Respect is clear. Everyone understands you should respect other people as you want to be respected yourself. Support is how we assist this community in bettering their quality of life. And the last part is challenge. And I think that's kind of the key to what makes us somewhat different. We do 4 events a year that are social events.
Right.
But when people come to our classes, we are trying to improve, to teach people, to grow, to learn. Even if it's an individual who can put their hand against the wall and lift one leg off the ground for 2 seconds, when they get to 4 seconds, there's a round of applause.
Sure.
Increments.
So
everything.
it's incremental progress.
Sure.
So there's that challenge aspect where we want people to feel good about themselves, that they've achieved something. And the big things that we have to look at, one is progressions, because we have a wide variety of people that come to us. So our biggest challenge in any class is recognizing the levels and the capabilities.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, again,
Yes.
it's people of different
Yes.
ages,
Oh,
and
yes.
again,
Yeah.
what's up here and what's in their body
Listen,
as well.
Yes.
we have different levels of functioning, whether it be cognitive or physical. We have guys that are in wheelchairs, but they're playing soccer with the same guys that are running up and
Oh,
down
really?
the field.
Okay.
Graham, he put together, and that's why we call it adaptive sports. He found a way to put the things on the wheelchairs so that as they wheelchair, they can hit that ball too. So the thing about it is giving them the opportunity to have a platform where they can be seen. For most of this population, they grew up and they were being ostracized. They didn't get to go to the prom. They didn't get to go to the talent show, or they definitely, even if they went, they weren't the talent.
Right.
So for us, the main focus is to give them these experiences and to have a goal. And that's where the therapeutic recreation comes in. There are objective and goals. For most of my programs for music and art, at the end of those 8 weeks, we have a show. Like right now, I'm gearing up to do all the Christmas shows for the programs, the day programs that I work for. And we just did a performance at the Recreation Conference, Reunited in Recreation at LaGuardia College a couple of weeks ago. So we give them opportunity and we give them a platform that they might not get in the typical day, or typical
you're
world.
getting that self-improvement, and then you
Yes.
get a chance to display how much better you've gotten at something.
Exactly.
And I think that the biggest part from us is this: there is this hunger or thirst from the community looking for opportunities
Right.
because they're still very isolated, regardless of the progress that's been made over the last 50 years. There's still this isolation. They're ignored. They're isolated. They love being with us because it's a sense of community. There's a big social aspect to what
Sure.
we do
Yes.
within it.
Right.
And community integration is super important.
I was going to say their caretakers are there with them, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's agencies. There's generally a 1 to 4 ratio
Okay.
of staff to individuals. We have classes, most of them are anywhere from 15 to 30 individuals. With the more complex classes, we put a limit of 15. Ball sports is we have
Sure.
30 individuals at a
Right.
time.
So you mentioned soccer, wheelchair players and the like. So soccer, basketball, and I think track.
We don't do track yet. We do basketball. We also do kickball.
Okay.
So the ball sports aspect is we will have a class in which I will bring out all different sizes of balls, and they will throw them in the air. Try and clap while it's
Sure.
hand-eye coordination.
Sure. Right.
Then we'll give them a smaller ball and a smaller ball just on that progression
Right.
to see how far they can go.
Right.
So it's that type of manipulation to
Right. And I would take it, the basket's at a certain height, and then as they get better,
Yes.
we get closer to 10 feet or whatever the case may be.
Well, one of the great things about House of Sports is their basketball facility has
The raising.
that can be raised and
Right.
lowered. So we
Right.
don't play full length; we play across with
Right,
lowered
sure.
baskets.
Okay. Okay.
And we also we do have Zumba. We do have a awesome Zumba teacher, Miss Solaris. She does Zumba, and we're going to be also incorporating dance this spring. So we have a very well-rounded group and a very well-rounded program. I think we're probably like the only adaptive sports program in Westchester County.
In adaptive sports, yes. Yeah.
So I guess what I wanted to ask, so are people playing sports and are they also doing music? I mean, do you have a crossover that way, or?
We do sometimes. There will be groups that will come in for one, have lunch at the House of Sports, and then come to the other class.
Okay.
But typically, it's 1 hour.
Right.
Some of the agencies,
Well,
like
I guess my question is more to the fact that, okay, so you've played soccer or basketball with you, and then, I liked the art. Are you getting
Yeah.
any people going
Well-
from one side to the other?
Well,
Yes.
what we have is we have a lot of programs. Like we have Hawthorne Foundation, New York City Foundling. And when I say New York City Foundling, we have the Bronx, we have Staten Island, we have Brooklyn, we have
Rockland.
County. So those are 5 programs within one organization.
Okay.
So I might have the Brooklyn and the Bronx group come to me on a Monday, but then they come to him on a Wednesday.
Okay.
So we have where, a lot of the agencies, they may have art classes and music classes, but then in the summertime, they do ball sports.
Right.
Or in the wintertime, they do the indoor ball sports, and in the summertime, they come and do art.
So you guys are year-round?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the biggest restriction on growth, because there's unlimited potential for growth, is finding instructors. And it's because of the time frame, it's not a full-time job. So it'll be between 10 and 20 hours a week.
Right.
But
Okay.
we want qualified people.
Sure.
Finding people that don't have full-time jobs who are willing to do what we're doing is the single limitation we have.
Yeah. Because we need to find people that not also have a skill set, but that are mindful and that have empathy for this population.
Yeah, I was going to say,
So
you've got to have it
it's
in
not
here,
easy.
too.
It's not something and this population has the highest turnover rate when you look at, day agencies and, adult care providers. It's a really high turnover rate. So for me, I will take the time to wait for the right person, and of course we are always looking for the right person. We're always looking for volunteers, and we're always looking for people that want to have some type of passion in life, because this is something you definitely have to have a passion for,
Right.
I've probably interviewed 75, 80 individuals. I probably thought 12 or 13 was suitable for what we
Okay.
do.
Right.
All of them came with the right qualifications.
Right, sure, but
if you don't have those two things, which is empathy and energy, if you got those two things, it works. If you don't, it doesn't work.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you could, Latina, talk a little bit about art. I suppose, paper mache, acrylics. What kind of mediums are we working with here?
Oh, listen, we do anything that I can think of that I can do in an hour. And sometimes I'll do 2-week programs, like the paper mache. We'll do 1 week, we'll do and put it together, and then the next week we'll paint it. This week, we made our own puzzles. Like, they were actual puzzles. They were also already cut out. And we had them do it in different mediums. We do acrylics, of course, markers, what is that?
I try to help, but I don't know.
Okay, so again, you got to do
Watercolor,
Okay.
anything that you can
Right.
think of that I can put
Okay.
my hands on. We do beading.
Okay.
We also we do a lot of painting, but we're also do a lot of crafts as well.
Okay.
So depending on also what the season is, because we try to keep things seasonal and we try to keep things, abreast of what's new and what's happening,
Sure.
because I want to introduce them to new things that they might not have naturally or have been introduced to before.
So you also have music, and I think you mentioned earlier you're going to dance in the spring. Is that the idea?
Yes, well, we already have Zumba classes.
Okay.
But we're going to be creating a new dance classes that we can do, because we also would like to do like the silver shoes dancing classes for
Silver sneakers.
Silver
Sneakers, that's what I meant.
That's on our agenda as well. But when I tell you the music, I have choirs of individuals that don't talk, but they sing when I turn the music on.
Okay.
And a lot of times people will say to me, "Oh my gosh, like how they sing? Like how did
You're drawing them out, right?
you never gave them the opportunity?" And sometimes for them, everything is in their head and it's inside. And once they hear themselves, and it's not just that, it's just like us. They got egos too. When they see that you're paying attention, it's like, wait a minute. Wait, is it? Are you looking at me? And I'm trying to tell you, I have witnessed and I have seen them come into themselves, and also give other people the opportunities to get to know who they really are at this, not just at the surface, but internally. And
I think both of us have this experience where every week during one of the classes that we go to, there is somebody who does something they've never done before.
exactly.
And I think that's
what you want, right?
That's
Yeah.
the
That's
what you
pure
want.
joy.
Sure.
Of what
Because
we do.
you may have participation where everybody's involved and everybody, but then you might have one individual that's participating but ancillarily. He's over there in the corner. He might not be over here in the middle of everything. But then on week 5, ta-da! You're like, oh my God. Oh my God. I didn't even know he could talk. And he just sings the whole song straight through. Or he kicks a goal and he just leaves everybody down the field. And those are the increments and those are the things that make our life worth living.
And you have some sense for when this may occur, but that moment is kind of a special thing.
It
It's a surprise.
is. You know, it's just like in our lives. You know, when you ever heard of talk of flow, you know, and when you hit that flow and you're in it, it's the same thing. But sometimes we're so busy in our everyday life that we may miss it. Right. Because we're not paying attention, or that we may not deem them as worthy to pay attention, you know? And that's why I think this is so important, the work that we do, because these people, they make me smile and I sleep good every night. And sometimes I get texts and calls at 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning about a song they want to sing for Christmas. Okay. Or what are we wearing for the show? We wearing white shirts and black shirts and red shirts, because 90% of the people that I work with, they have autism. And repetition, you know, they have different accents, and sometimes OCD is one of them. And sometimes I might get those calls and they have to, because they need to be assured that everything's going to be okay. Right. And I'm that person. If I got to be that person for them, then I'm that person. And you know what? It's a beautiful thing, because it gives them something to live for, and it gives them a better quality of life.
You mentioned largely adults. How about youth? I mean, is that, again, that coming to you now more, that your program is getting more established?
It's really just a question of time. Mm-hmm. We do Saturday soccer programs, which I've been doing for 2 or 3 years. Okay. I'm the co-director of Special Olympics soccer.
I was going to ask you about that. So you've taken the ball
in New York State.
And tell them about what we did last year with
We're
the kids.
Becoming what's called a training club for Special Olympics in the spring. So we will start putting competitive teams together. I think that's going to start in April is the first one. But that's just one more direction for us to go. We have all the adults coming to us, putting Special Olympics teams together is just a natural extension. Okay. So we basically, our biggest problem is, 1 is instructors, and 2 is choosing what avenue to take next, because there are just so many opportunities.
I gotcha. Now, you guys have mentioned, too, again, you're, as the individuals are making progress, surprising you at different times. It sounds like, again, you guys have great passion for this. And things culminate. I think you have multiple barbecues. You said you have a holiday thing, and we're going to save the Big Bash for a little bit. But again, talk about some of the things that people get to celebrate together.
Well, what we do is we try to create, not just from our classes and stuff like that, but we have basketball classes and we have soccer classes. We're in the midst of now trying to get certain teams from different day programs to play against each other. Okay. You know, and because community inclusion is very important. And coming from the side that I come from, I was a director of day service for a day program. So I understand what they need. And internally, it helps us be able to put the programs together that we know that will be beneficial to them. And sometimes when we look at some of the programs that we're doing and how we can build them up, you know, there's, like he said, it's a natural progression, and it depends on where we're at, and we try to meet them where they're at that moment.
So from a purely social standpoint, we're looking at 4 events a year. Okay. So we have outdoor barbecues.
Mason Park?
No, actually at, I'm going to forget the name.
We actually
it's in Ardsley.
VC Mason Park?
VE Mason Park.
Yeah, that's one of them, actually. Okay. Special Citizens does. They do a luau there.
I've had picnic there, so that's why I brought it up.
They do a luau.
We do a luau.
Special Citizens
there,
does.
Okay.
But this is, I forgot the name. Okay. It's also in Ardsley. But we do a barbecue there. We do the formal. In the summer. We're doing this end-of-year program. And we're actually going to bring groups together on special days starting in the spring to compete against each other. So
like a field day for adaptive sports, yes.
House of Sports have been just absolutely wonderful to work with. We're now a strategic partner with them to bring special needs programs to House of Sports. And we're going to take the complete upstairs and just have multiple competitions going on between agencies. So that's that's
interesting. All right, so forgive me if I say this wrong. So Holiday DD Ball is December 29th?
Yes, it's our annual holiday sneaker ball, and it is going to be so much fun. Last year we had a lot of participants come out. They have food, they have dancing, we have contests. It's a sneaker ball, so the focus is on your kicks, and it's going to be on the basketball court.
Okay.
So we don't have to worry about
So we're talking Nike, Under Armour. I mean, I don't know what the house specialty is. Whatever.
Listen, a lot of we had some guys show up in suits. Yeah, they come up in suits, and they might have on some like really crazy colored sneakers.
Okay.
Some of the girls wore tutus last year. And
some of them painted their sneakers.
Some of them painted their sneakers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not your dance best, but it's your sneaker best.
It's your sneakers best. Yes.
We had to do that as well, just because it's a basketball court, but it fit in with the what we were trying to achieve.
Okay, and so that's December 29th. And again, how can people find out more about that?
The best way to do that is to go to our website, which is rscwestchester.com.
Okay.
Front page has a
link,
direction and a link to registration. If people have additional questions, they can email me. It's actually on the website.
Okay.
It's graham.s.rsc@gmail.com.
Okay.
So those are the best ways. I think all the information is up there. I always get very amusing questions.
As Latina, I think you told me you had about 150 people last year for the first one.
Yeah, and we are really thinking that we're going to have probably double this year. And listen, we want everybody to come out and just have a good time. You know, you don't even have to be on the DD population. Come out and have a good time and see how we party. You know, I think it's going to be a great thing, and I thank you so much for having us here today.
Oh, we appreciate you coming. You guys, doing a great job for the community. The passion that you guys have shines through here. So I just want to say, I wanted to thank our guests, Graham and Latina, for joining us here. Thanks to all of you for listening and watching. Until next time, this is Mike Reynolds for LMC Cast Community Profile. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks.
The LMC casts a wide net over the Sound Shore to bring you local event info, profiles, and conversations. Recorded in the heart of the village in Mamaroneck Cinemas at the studio on the Avenue, LMC Media brings you the LMC Cast Community Profiles.